Let me ask you something. Have you ever ended your week feeling like you've been on a hamster wheel, running and running nonstop, but somehow you're still in the same spot? You planned, you wrote it all down, but by Friday, half of your list is still there, and it's waving at you like an uninvited house guest. Girl, I have been there too. Okay, so today I wanted to share with you a little trick that has really helped me to get off that hamster wheel and start taking control of my week, and that's planning backwards. Now, before you give me the side eye wondering if I'm talking about some wacky time travel stuff, let me explain, okay? Planning backwards is all about getting clear on what you want to achieve and then creating a path that leads directly there. Trust me, it's like mapping out a road trip with no unnecessary stops, straight to your destination, baby. So if you're ready to get intentional and feel more accomplished, let's get into it. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for another video. This is Marquita from At Home with Kita, and here I share tips on how to plan a balanced life. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. So I'm really excited about this video because we're talking about something that a lot of people aren't familiar with. It's just another method that I want to share here on my channel, which is all about helping you to be the most productive you, okay? So we're going to talk about how to plan backwards. But first, what is planning backwards and why should you care? Okay, so let's imagine it's Friday evening, the holy grail of weekdays, right? And you're feeling like Beyonce in a glittery jumpsuit, completely in control and fabulous. Why? Because you achieved everything you set out to do this week. Yes, I said everything. That's what planning backwards does for you. The idea is super simple. Instead of starting with Monday and throwing a bunch of to-do lists at each day, like a game of darts, you're going to start by picturing what you want to have accomplished by the end of the week. Then you're going to work backwards from there. It's like reverse engineering your week, and it makes sure everything you do is purposeful and intentions. Think about it. If you know what success looks like on Friday, it's much easier to figure out what you need to do on Monday, Tuesday, and so on to get there. And no more guesswork or ending up on a detour that leaves you asking, how did I get here? So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to plan your week backwards. Number one, you want to define your end goals, aka Friday wins. So grab your planner, a cup of your favorite coffee and tea, and let's get crystal clear on what we want to achieve. First, picture this. It's Friday afternoon. What would make you feel like a boss at the end of the week? Did you complete that project that's been hanging over your head? Did you finally organize the closet that looks like a before picture and a decluttering show? Or maybe you simply want to have all your meals prepared for the weekend. No shame in that game, friends. Meal prepping is no joke, okay? So write down 3 main goals for the week. These are your Friday wins. You want these to be specific and achievable. None of that become a new person by Friday stuff. Just real, tangible things that will make you feel successful. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to break it down into milestones. Now that you have your Friday wins, it's time to break them down into smaller milestones. What are the key actions you need to take throughout the week to achieve those goals? So here's an example. So let's say if one of your goals is to complete a work presentation, you're going to think about the steps, okay? So that may involve researching the topic, creating a draft, adding visuals, practicing the presentation. Each of these steps is a milestone. So go ahead and break your goals down into bite-sized, manageable tasks. Step 3 is to assign tasks to each day, starting backwards, okay? So here comes the fun part. Instead of starting from Monday, you're gonna work backwards from Friday. So Friday may be, what final touches do you need to put on your goals? Maybe it's reviewing and polishing that presentation. And then Thursday, what needs to be done before polishing? Perhaps it's maybe adding visuals or practicing your slides. And then Wednesday, it's time to get that draft done. Tuesday, you're gonna dive into the research. So break it down over the day so it's not overwhelming. Then Monday, you're gonna set yourself up for success by laying the groundwork. So block out time, gather resources, and make sure you know exactly what needs to be done. So by planning this way in reverse, you're ensuring each day has a clear, focused purpose that gets you closer to your goal. It's all about being intentional and honest. And I'm telling you, it feels so good when you do it this way, okay? Step 4. And when it comes to the Sunday here, this is going to be the previous Sunday. So of course, I'm just showing you an example of how that would look. So I'm not going to use another page for that. I'll just write it in here just to show you kind of how the flow of everything would go. So if you can cram it all in a week starting from Monday to Friday, then that's great. But if you need an extra day, of course, you can use the Sunday of the previous week. So this is just one example using the goal of having to deliver a presentation. So what you just saw is we worked backwards. We knew the presentation day was on Friday, so we listed all the tasks associated with each step in the process. So presentation day, then your Thursday would be your final dress rehearsal, Wednesday would be your feedback and revisions, Tuesday would be you building your key points and visuals, Monday would have been your outline and research day, and then Sunday you were brainstorming and mind mapping. Of course, if you need an extra day, you could go from Sunday to Friday. It just depends on whatever that goal is. This is just an example for you to kind of help you to map out everything so you could see how you could reverse plan and how this whole thing actually works and see the benefits of it. So as you can see, by starting with the presentation on Friday and working backwards, each day has its own mini goal, and that's going to build directly towards the final objective. So this is going to make it easier to stay on track and avoid last minute scrambling since each day's task is clearly defined in advance. So that's why this is so genius. So I'm going to give you another example that's maybe more practical for the home. This is more for work, just to give you some ideas on how you can reverse plan. All right, so those are the tasks that you would do on Sunday to have the goal of organizing your pantry. So you'd arrange items in zones, you'd apply labels to containers, and you do your final check. So again, we're gonna work backwards. So let's see what tasks we need to do on Saturday. So Saturday would be cleaning and container placement. All right, Saturday's done. You're gonna clean the shelves and the floor, place containers and bins in their location, wipe down pantry items, and try to do that as they're being put back, okay? So next, let's look at today's tasks, which Friday is gonna be your sort and group items day. All right, so Friday's done. That is your sort and group items day again. So you're gonna remove everything from the pantry. You're gonna sort items into categories. You're gonna check expiration dates, and you're gonna set aside any items that need to be used soon so that they don't expire, okay? So moving on to Thursday is gonna be your purchase, storage, and containers. So Thursday is gonna be your purchase, storage, containers, and supplies day. That's the fun day. I love buying containers and going to the store to pick out all those items that are going to help me to be more organized. So you're going to dedicate your day to that. All right, so that day you're just gonna pick up your containers, baskets, and labels, and you're gonna make sure that you have trash bags on hand for those expired items. So moving on to Wednesday, Wednesday is gonna be your measure and plan day. All right, so your measure and plan day, which is Wednesday, is going to be where you measure your pantry shelves because you don't want to overbuy things. You're going to make your supplies list, and then you're going to sketch out a layout of the different categories and where all the bins will go. Okay, moving on to Tuesday is your decluttering day. All right, so this decluttering day is going to consist of taking out any non-food items that don't belong, and then you're going to toss or donate anything that you don't need, like maybe empty jars or utensils, anything like that. You're going to go ahead and just donate those or get rid of them. All right, moving on to the last day, which is technically the first day. That's going to be where you set your goals and time estimates, because you want to know exactly how much time it's going to take, because again, you're planning out your day. You want to know how much time each thing is going to take so that you can still fit in those non-negotiables. All right, so this is it. Monday is your first day, but again, we've worked backwards. That day is all about listing the steps needed to complete that task of organizing the pantry, and then you're going to estimate how long each task will take, because you don't want to overfill your day. You want to make sure that it's realistic. We talked about that earlier. It needs to be able to accommodate for all of the things that you have to do during that day. But this is how it would look. So this is the genius of reverse planning. So I've given you two examples, one of whether you have maybe you have a presentation that you have to do at work. We started on Friday, we worked our way to actually Sunday. So that gave you an extra day just in case. I mean, again, this is just an example. And so there were several tasks that we filled in each day. So that way we knew that we could complete this task. We broke it all down. So hopefully this really helped you to see the benefits of reverse planning. Again, it's just such a genius way to organize your thoughts by starting at the end and working your way forward. But of course, when completing these tasks, you're going to complete them from Monday to Sunday or Monday to Saturday, from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. This is just showing you how you can break it down. And as you can see, it's, for me, much more manageable. And you can see everything associated with that task. You can check it off, and you can just make sure that you have everything done, and you can see the bigger picture of it all. So hopefully. All right, step 4 is now you're going to add in the non-negotiables. Now I know what you may be thinking, that's great, but what about the millions of other things I have to do? I got you. Life be life, and it's always throwing us non-negotiables like doctor's appointments, errands, school runs. Anything could come in the way that you have to get done. So you're going to add these non-negotiables to your planner after you've assigned your milestone tasks. This way you know exactly how much time you have for each day's goals. It's also going to help you to see where you might need to adjust expectations, like moving the closet organization to next week, because let's be real, there are only so many hours in a day. So here's why planning backwards works so well. Okay, it isn't just a fancy trick. It actually taps into a very powerful mindset shift. By starting with what you want to achieve, you're training your brain to focus on the end results rather than just going through the motions. Instead of filling up your planner with random tasks, you're creating a direct path to your goals. And who doesn't love a direct path, right? Especially when we're already juggling 1,000 other things. So let me tell you, it also helps you say no more easily. If that random Wednesday brunch doesn't align with your plan for the week, you have a real reason to decline it, and without feeling guilty. You've got Friday wins to make, okay? So here are some tips for success and common mistakes to avoid. First, you want to keep your goals realistic. If your goal for the week is to declutter the whole house, write a book, and solve world hunger, you might need to scale back a bit. Let's start with just the pantry, okay? Be flexible. Listen, life happens. Maybe Thursday's plan gets derailed because your kids need a last-minute project printed and suddenly you're covered in glitter and glue. It's okay. Reassign tasks and keep moving forward. Also, celebrate those small wins. Even if you don't accomplish every single goal, backwards planning will have brought you closer. So celebrate what you did get done, even if it's just getting out of bed on a tough day, because we all been there, done that, right? So are you ready to try backwards planning? Then let's go. Okay, so here's your challenge for the week. Plan it backwards. So grab that planner and start by visualizing what your Friday wins look like. Trust me, once you try this method, you're going to wonder why you ever started your week without knowing where you wanted to end up. And remember, planning is all about progress, not perfection. So whether you end up nailing all your goals or you have a few bumps along the way, the point is you're being intentional, and that's already a huge win. So I really hope that this helped you guys, just to make sure that you can see all your tasks and make sure everything is accounted for. Again, now you're going to fill in all of the other things. And since this is the bigger goal for this week, you want to make sure that you get that done. Then we added this first and we can fill it in with all the other things. But it's going to look different for each of you. So just do what works for you. If you need to tweak something, change something that I've mentioned that may work better for you, by all means do that. But this is the basic principle of reverse planning. Now go ahead and backward plan your way to success. And if you do try this, share your thoughts in the comments below. I love to know how it worked for you, especially if it means fewer hamster wheel weeks and more Beyonce glitter jumpsuit moments. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you joining me for today. I had to share this with you. Once I discovered it, again, it has truly changed how I think about planning, and I think it could change for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, so much so that you'll give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, I would love it if you join the family. Come on over to this side of things and make sure you subscribe. And as always, I would love it if you came back and watched another video, in which case I'll see you then.